Welcome to Sam Roberts Show. So much going on today. It's going to be an amazing show. Jessimae Peluso is going to be here in a little bit. She's been on the show before. But speaking of funny women, we're going to start the show with somebody who has made it a career now to highlight funny women. Paul Feig is here. Paul, thank you for starting Sam Roberts Show with me today.
Thank you, Sam. I thought for a minute you were going to introduce me as a funny woman, and I would be very flattered.
Yes. Do you know Jessimae Peluso at all? I saw you make a face.
Oh yeah.
You do.
Oh yes. Come on. What am I dead?
Well, I don't know. I don't. You see.
Come on, Sam.
No,
Come
you're
on.
right. I should have known.
Who do you think you're dealing with?
You're right.
I'm a middle-aged man in a suit. How can I not know this stuff?
At what point have you always been somebody who's like, I want to stay up on what's going on with comedians, specifically female comedians, or did you make it? Did you kind of shift in your brain where this is the direction I'm going to head in?
I've always just hung out with the girls, I guess. I had a lot of bullies when I was a kid, and so just all my friends tended to be girls. I lived next door to a family of 8 kids, and 6 of them were ladies. So it's just the world I grew up in, and so I think it's just the way my brain kind of works. And then so many of my friends were women who were funny, and then just carried over to my career. So it's just kind of a natural setting for me. But then I started, when I'd see them in movies, not getting to be funny, and just having to be the mean girlfriend and, being mean to the funny guys. I was like, well, wait, that's not fair, because I know they're hilarious.
Right. Like, it kind of drives you crazy because you're like, I know what that person's capable of.
Yeah. There's nothing worse than seeing somebody like their hands tied and not, because then the audience walks out and goes like, oh, I don't like that actress. She's so mean. It's like, that's one of the funniest people in the world. Right.
Are you like or were you, I guess, growing up like more of a friend zone guy?
Oh yeah. Come on. Yeah. No, I was that. That's why the girls like me, because I was very comfortable.
People are always like, Sam, like, how you get so many good looking women on your radio show? And I go, it's because none of them are threatened by me. I'm the most non-threatening, non-sexual being in their life.
You're my best friend. I feel so natural. This girl's gonna like walk out with like wearing nothing. Like, I'm just feel so natural around you.
You're so funny.
I know you're not looking at me weird. So okay.
Yeah.
I'm not dead.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess, would you at this point consider Melissa McCarthy to be your muse?
Well, I mean, it's funny. We just keep kind of falling together through circumstances. I mean, I did look. I think of her more as like a partner in crime, really, because she just, we kind of work so actively together. But even Spy, I didn't originally write it for her because I didn't think she was going to be available because she was doing her TV show and the schedule wasn't going to work out. But then, I just wrote it for an every woman, which I just, I know so many funny women who could potentially do the role.
Right.
But when she read it and, wanted to do it, suddenly my brain kind of exploded with ideas because you're like, okay, she's just a home run for this. And now I can't imagine anybody else in the role.
And like, how much of you, especially as a director, is sitting there going, okay, how do I show Melissa McCarthy differently? Because she does run that risk of being typecast in the sort of, big, goofy, funny woman.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's been very brash and kind of an in-your-face, confident character in the last 2 movies I made. But the Melissa I know is confident, but she's a very sweet, I wouldn't say soft-spoken, but she's just very funny. And I've never heard her like swear in real life.
Really?
She's just naturally kind of funny just through goofing around. So I thought, I want to show that Melissa, because you get tired of, suddenly you hear reporters, well, doesn't she do the same thing all the time? Which they say about every comic once they make it big. It's like, well, they just do the same thing. It's like, really? Do they just do the same thing? Like,
or is it that that's all people want to see, so they just keep getting offered the same?
Yeah, and they just run it through a filter of like, well, that's the same thing. It's the reason why Steve Carell never won an Emmy for The Office. When they do it well, they make it look effortless, and they don't realize how much work goes into it and how much detail is in there. But no, it just felt like really a way I could showcase the woman I know who's so funny and just normal, and then run her into this ringer where you really care, because then you see she has to pretend to be these other characters, and then it's fun. How
does she, for somebody who doesn't curse day to day, like, how does she turn it into such an art form? Because I've seen it, like, they do the sort of the blooper reels at the end of these movies that she's in.
Yeah.
And that's where she like shines, where she's just coming up with profanities.
I think it's almost like therapy for her, to be honest. I mean, you unleash the tiger in front of the camera, and then it's like such a safe zone that these things can come out, because, nobody could be offended because, like, no, I was just acting, Yeah. I don't know. Swearing is an art form. It's an absolute art form. And I've worked with so many people because I love swearing. I think it's just the funniest thing in the world if you do it right.
Right.
But I had so many actors try it and you're just like, oh, that's ugly, or oh, it hits your ear weird, and I'm like, no, we can't do it. But when they can do it, and Melissa is a master, she's like the Charlie Parker of the fuck, of the word fuck.
The fuck game.
Yeah, exactly, the fuck game. She can go off on a fuck odyssey. But it's really hard to pull off. I mean, actually, I have this show on Yahoo called Other Space now that's streaming there, and I have this great young cast, and they love to swear too. But for some reason, coming out of them, it didn't feel fun. So I had more fun bleeping them. But then I got up and I was like, why are they bleeping? And it's like, because it's funnier when you bleep. But somebody can like do it, and Melissa can do it, and Rose Byrne turns out is a master of it.
Do you think she's underrated as a kind of comic performer? Because everything I've seen her in, she's been amazing.
Well, I think people are finally figuring it out. I mean, especially now with this one, now it's such a hat trick, because you go from, honestly, she's done it 4 times, because get him to the Greek, she was hilarious. Bridesmaids, she killed. Neighbors, she killed.
She was really good.
But this, I think, because she's playing such a different character than she normally plays, and to play this villain, I think people are really catching on now.
And I guess that's kind of the scenario that you were talking about before. You were just kind of see her as like the sweet kind of wife of the person in the horror movie or whatever it was, like almost like it was a set decoration practically.
Oh no, totally. And it's so cool, but then you start to go like, how many actresses do we know as dramatic actresses are out there who could be hilarious? It's kind of like, then you start to go, oh my God, but that opens up again where you go like, come on, everybody in comedy, start you putting women in these things, getting great roles, and you will find these, we'll have this great parity, if you will, of what roles. There you go.
Yeah, of roles.
I completely became not a good talker.
That's why you're a director, though.
Yeah, exactly. I make other people talk for me.
Yeah, I could figure out the kernel of this. Now make it funny.
That's basically when I'm directing Melissa now. We work together so many times. After I'm like, well, can you? Yeah. Okay, good.
Got it. Is that what you get off on now? Is finding like, okay, people don't know how funny this chick is. Wait till you see this one, and I got another one over here and another one over here.
Oh,
and this is
definitely. Just because there's, again, there's not enough female comedy stars, and there's so many waiting in the wings. My frustration is I can't do enough projects. I can't direct enough projects where I can kind of keep pulling them in, and there's only so many roles. But that's why I'm like, everybody start doing this, but create good roles. Don't just create shitty things that then they weren't funny. It bombed. It's like, well, yeah, it bombed because it wasn't good.
Right. Or they try to take like something that you did and just do the same movie pretty much.
Well, that was always the fear after Bridesmaids. It's like, oh, please don't just let a bunch of like a bunch of women shitting in sinks,
Right. Well, we want an Oscar too.
Yeah, that's right, really. I took a huge dump in the sink. Come on, you got to give me some.
Yeah, I don't. Why do you think Bridesmaids was the one? Because people have complained for so long about the Academy kind of ignoring comedy. Mm-hmm. Do you think that the fact that it was female-based had a lot to do with it, or do you think it was purely the content that made the Academy finally recognize it?
Yeah, I think it was a combo of those things. It was pretty undeniable, and its success was, really made it a big deal, and it became kind of a cause for a lot of people. And then just the fact that I think we focused on, as we always do, focused on the character so much and telling a real story. But it was a real lesson to me. And so many filmmakers fall apart because they're trying to make a movie that will get an Oscar. And that's not what you do. You're making movies because you want to entertain an audience. Either you want to do dramas, you want to thrill them or teach them something, or you do comedy, you just want to entertain them. And so when we did Bridesmaids, the last thing any of us thought was, okay, let's do this because we'll get nominated for a couple of Oscars. So when it happened, it was just this great moment of going like, you know what? Don't think about it. Make the best movie you can, and if it happens, it happens.
Right, because it's not supposed to.
Yeah, don't chase it. There's nothing worse than at the end of the year when, great movies come out, but then there's always a few, and you're like, that's so just Oscar baiting, kind of like, okay, you're the important movie.
Yeah, from the release date to the way it's advertised to the who stars in it, you're like, okay, that's the only nobody has to see the movie.
No, totally. And it's kind of like, fuck you, just entertain me. I will tell you if you deserve an award or not.
Yeah. Do you get defensive now? Because you're talking about, making good roles for women, and you're like, you're kind of spearheading this thing. Like, do you get defensive when you watch other female-based comedies and be like, no, that's not what I was talking about?
I just get defensive about comedy in general, just because. But look, there's a million different types of comedy, and I'm not saying like mine's the great way to go at all. I just know how I would do it, and the only thing I get nervous or sad about is when I see somebody who I know is great, kind of getting what I believe to be bad direction because they're not being sat on more or they're going too far. But look, again, I think the funniest people in the world have a natural governor that doesn't let them go above the top. And you can have a bad director go crazy, and you'll still just go crazy up to the level of which it is believable. I mean, Carell was always a master of that. Like, he would want to make it, very real. And so I go if I push him right to the edge of where I know he'll do it, then you get a real person in an extreme situation, and then it's really funny.
You had to know that when not only you were announced as definitely doing Ghostbusters 3, or the third, is it called Ghostbusters 3?
No, it's Ghostbusters. Yeah. It's a reboot.
That's what you keep saying, it's a reboot. So Ghostbusters 3 seems completely
it's definitely not.
It's just Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
When you're announced as being attached to it, and then you announce, and I'm doing it with a female cast, you have to know at that point there's going to be backlash. Is it an uphill battle to get it done, or is that sort of in the rear view and you just do your thing?
Well, here's how delusional I didn't think it would be an issue at all.
Really?
No, I thought people would be really excited because you go yeah, this is what I do, and all these funny women, and look at these funny women I'm going to use. It's not like I'm going to load it up with a bunch of, I don't know what, dramatic actresses or something.
Because when you look at the cast, it's okay, well, they're all
these are four of the funniest people on the planet that happen to be women.
Right.
And so, when I first put out that tweet with just the 4 pictures, I just got bombarded with the most positive, excited tweet. I mean, for a day, and I was just oh my God, this is so great. And then suddenly, bad ones started coming in, and then all of a sudden, it's just an onslaught, and then you realize, oh my God, and then
just
a tidal wave of hate,
of misogyny,
that was the first wave, was all misogyny.
Yeah.
Now it's I don't want to paint it like that's all it's all that, because there's a lot of people just mad that it's a reboot and they wish it was a sequel, and that, fair enough, I get that. I just know it was entrusted to me. This is the only way I know how to tell it, and I think it's a more fun way to tell it. And all I ask the haters is just don't judge it yet. Just see it. If you hate it, then you can send me mean tweets.
And in terms of being sacrilege, it almost seems more sacrilegious to do a sequel to try to continue this story, as opposed to saying, okay, we got the concept. There was a cartoon that had nothing to do with the movie. Yeah. There's the story is, okay, it's a group of people who hunt ghosts. That's the story.
See, honestly, that is exactly was my take on it, because I thought I couldn't figure out how to make it work, and it felt like I was going to screw up the legacy of that. People, for some reason, feel like it's ruining the legacy of Ghostbusters. I'm if I keep it a separate thing, it's got the same name, and yes, it's about kind of, it's funny people fighting the paranormal with equipment.
Right.
But I'm letting that one be separate. But it's a big sticking point for a lot of people, and people are very angry about it, some of the fans. But look, again, you don't know. Is it 500 people? Is it 5 million people? All you can do is what you're going to do. And I know whenever I go anywhere, people are so excited about it and just really happy. So I just, all I can do is make a funny movie. And
I'm kind of pumped to see it and see what it is. I mean, it hasn't been revisited in so long. I watched it when they re-released the original Ghostbusters in theaters for the, whatever it was, 25th or whatever, 30th anniversary. Yeah. But it was just watching it. I was watching a movie that would never be made now, because it was all kind of set design and puppets and all this stuff that we would never do now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I wouldn't think that a reboot would look, or a sequel, or anything would look anything like the original. Yeah,
no, exactly. I mean, you want to play into the new world in the new way we make things. I like the feel of it, but you want to just kind of, I don't know, just want to bring it into the modern day, and it's bringing a whole new audience into it.
Are you thinking about the technology and stuff like that? Because people are so associated with proton packs and all that.
I'm a big hardware geek, so that's one of the things that's why I wanted to do it, because I love that stuff. I mean, that's why I love Star Wars and all that. So, so that's been the most fun part. I've got an amazing production team who's just designing so much cool stuff.
And is it sort of let's redesign everything so it fits in 2015? It's not like 80s future technology.
No, totally. I want to make it modern day, but it's you'll see. It's pretty cool. It's very science based, which I love science.
How long did it take you to cast it?
Well, we're still casting. I mean, the main supporting part.
Yeah.
No, it took me a couple of months of just literally. It was all in my head. It was all cast in my head. I was just kind of mixing and matching all the people I know or wanted to work with, and just finally just went, okay, these 4 people, because look, tons of funny people who could have been in it, but who are going to mix who are going to mix and be different from each other. So you have 4 very distinct personalities in there. And so when I finally kind of settled on these 4, it's like, yeah, these feel like we get everything. Even in our previs that we do, just seeing the 4 of them in cartoon form lined up, you go like, it looks so great.
When we were talking about women so much, but it used to, before this was kind of what you were known for, you created Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah.
Which is, to me still, it's hard to beat that show, especially in the comedy drama realm.
Yeah, thanks.
Did you know the way you're like, okay, people need to look at these women as not women, but hilarious people who are talented?
Yeah.
Did you look at these kids like, these kids are beyond anything? Because James Franco and Seth Rogen and all these people that came out of that show.
Yeah.
Are
it's just a testament to throwing the door open wide and not going like, okay, we can't see people like this, we can't see people like this. They all have to be beautiful. They have to be this. And Allison Jones, my casting director, is fantastic. And, and Judd and I were on the same page. And I went to the network when we sold it to them. I made this big speech like, we're not going to just cast models and like put glasses on them and stuff. They're like, no, we agree. So when you open up the door wide and just go, I just want to see the best people we have.
Right.
And you just make it a total meritocracy, then you go, yes, here comes the most amazing people who are going to be in showbiz forever and going to become national treasures.
And everybody's still working. Like, you watch Silicon Valley, and it's amazing.
Every single one of them is working. No one went to jail. I'm the most proud of that.
Do you think you get enough credit as the creator of that show? Because it felt like, especially as Judd's star started to rise, he was very closely associated with the show. Do you think that there
was a 4-year period after we got canceled where it's just the natural way things happen. He went on and did Undeclared, which I chose not to do. And, I was trying to do other things. So that got well known. And, so it's just very easy to go like, okay, that person created it. It's
gotcha.
Just, the news reporting on entertainment can be very sloppy because they just don't, it's not like hard news, so you don't have to like hard fact check.
Yeah.
And so, it was really kind of gutting for a while because I finally kind of made this thing I was so proud of and like I'd been written out of history. But then as soon as we got the DVDs came out, then
people remember.
Yeah, because there you are in the credits.
Last question, because I gotta get you out of here.
Yeah.
Why do you think Heavyweights, one of my favorite movies of all time?
I love that.
Why don't they make movies that good for kids anymore? Like, that's a movie that sustains. Like, I can watch that as an adult and be like, this is a funny movie.
Yeah, you know what? All I know is when we were making it, we were basically just making a funny movie for adults, that happened to star kids. That was really, even though it was for Disney and everything.
You're like, Disney wants this?
Yeah, totally. Weirdly, I knew, even when we were doing it, I remember thinking like, I don't know if people are going to understand how funny this is.
Yeah.
Because it just made us laugh so much, but we didn't try to dumb it down for kids. And that's why it's just so nice that it's kind of, it's found this audience because it was such a failure when it came out. It was just, really bad.
Well, if you haven't seen Heavyweight, see it because it's incredible. But before you do that, Friday, Spy comes out. Make sure you go see it in theaters. Buy a ticket. It's a hilarious movie. Of course, Melissa McCarthy and Jude Law and Jason Statham and Rose Byrne, and it's a Paul Feig vehicle. So, and you're working with Amy Schumer, which is amazing.
Yeah,
moving forward.
Yeah, we have a project. Yeah, going with Amy that Katie Dippold wrote, and it's so funny. It's so funny. So we'll see. Either I'll direct that or produce it.
Well, hopefully you'll be back in town to talk about that soon.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Paul, for being here.
Thank you, Sam.
Everybody go see Spy, and we'll be right back. Jessimae Peluso is coming in today, as I said.
I know. You can't keep me away.
A whole lot more Sam Roberts show still to come. Back. Sam Roberts show. Live here on OB Radio. XM 103 Series 206. I didn't want to tell Paul Feig that he was the historic second guest of Sam Roberts' Daily Show because I was afraid he wouldn't take me seriously. If I told him he was the second guest, he'd be like, what the fuck am I doing here then? I'd be like, no, Paul, you've done the other shows I've done before. It's just the daily version of Sam Roberts' show. You're the second guest. I could talk to that guy forever because he's really, I think he's got a lot to feel accomplished for because I find him interesting enough that I want to talk about what he's doing now. Because realistically, all I want to do is talk to him about Freaks and Geeks and Heavyweights. It's like my two favorite things. I still watch both of those things constantly. If you've never seen Heavyweights, it's like one of the greatest. It's supposed to be a kids movie. It's like a Disney movie. It's a fat camp movie. It's Ben Stiller's first big movie. He plays a fitness guy who's the counselor at this fat camp, and it's hilarious. There's fat jokes and sex jokes and all kinds of great stuff that Disney would never allow in 2015. I don't know how they got away with it. I don't know what their thinking was back then, but it was better. That's for goddamn sure. Call up the show, 866-969-1969. That's 866-969-1969 to call Sam Roberts Show. I'm sorry I couldn't be on the phone with you from the beginning, but I only had, 15, 20 minutes with Paul Feig? I'm not going to give that time to you. I need that time for me. It's called Sam Roberts Show. There's no the, but there's an apostrophe. That makes it possessive. It's mine. Let's go to Tom in Boston. What's up, pal? You there, Tom? No, Tom. Let's go. Is it on my side? I don't think so. Let's go to Larry in Connecticut.
Sam, you're the man, buddy.
That's
you're
right.
the absolute man.
That's right.
And, of course, showing your great interview skills. But I don't know if I differ with your guests or differ with you on the issue, because I don't think in the old days that the women themselves were typecast. I think it was the roles that were typecast.
How
women
so?
were allowed to be funny, but they had to either be real ditzy, pretty and ditzy. They had to be the ugly duckling. They had to be the nerd, or they had to be the very loud, very big, bombastic, domineering type of women that was played as a comic foil. Or they were allowed to be mildly funny, being a kind of a straight person for the comedic lead.
Right, so
generally a man. Now, maybe I'm full of it.
I think we're saying the same thing, though. There are roles that women were kind of pigeonholed into.
Right, but it was the role itself that was typecast rather than the female. Like the ditzy girl always had to be pretty, and most times blonde. Lucy was the exception, being a redhead.
But there isn't. But you can't stereotype a role. Like, if the other roles don't exist, then you're talking about stereotyping the females. I think that's what Paul Feig was more saying, that if the roles don't exist outside of those stereotypical roles, then you're dealing with something where it's just the person.
Well, he did write a more substantial comedic role to allow women to stretch their comedic chops.
That's right.
Because I don't know what famous actor said this, but said dying. He was on his deathbed, I think. Dying is easy. Comedy's hard.
Well, I hope he's okay now. Thank you, Larry.
See you, Sam.
I'll talk to you later. I'm excited. I didn't even really get a chance to talk to him. Paul Feig has a big Amy Schumer project that they're working on together. Amy Schumer's already got another movie in the works. And it's been written, obviously. Paul Feig was just saying that. So, he's going to either produce it or direct it. What a life. What a great life that is. To just be sitting there and being, there are these great comic talents, and they're creating movies. And I don't know, I'll either produce it or direct it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. What? This is like Dream World. I don't know. I'll produce it. I'll direct it. We'll see. We'll see which way the wind blows. And I'm going, like, just to be associated with that. Most people would be happy being the best boy. Being a grip. I don't even know what a best boy is. It seems very, not a good place to be, especially on an all-female movie. To be the best boy sounds very sort of, it's time for us to get our revenge on you. Almost like a reverse women in prison movie. Like, they'd really teach me a lesson. I didn't even get to talk to him about Mad Max. I want to know how he feels about that. They took the Mad Max franchise and turned it into a very, very feminist film. Let's go to Chris the teacher. What's up, pal?
Hey, Sammy. No noise kind of throws me off. I don't know when I'm on and when I'm not.
Well, you're on.
Listen, I haven't gone to work since the show started. I stayed home again today.
Good.
And I'm not even kidding. I don't think I'm going to go to work anymore.
Just quit.
I figured I'd put in a good 10. I figured I'd get out now, maybe change it up.
That's pension, right?
Look, call me crazy.
Yeah, okay.
But does...
All right, crazy. What do you got to say?
Whoa, Wacky Robert show. This picture of Caitlyn Jenner, does she not look like an older Jessica Lange?
I'm telling you, I thought, thank you, Chris, that I was just the most original person. Already, episode 2 of the Daily Sam Roberts Show, we've got updates on a couple of different stories. I thought that I couldn't have been more original yesterday. First of all, I saw this picture of Caitlyn Jenner, and I thought that she looked like Jessica Lynch. So, being the genius that I am, I said, oh, it's Jessica Lange. That's not her name. It's Jessica Lynch is the woman I was talking about. But I thought, oh, look at this. On top of pop culture again, Roberts. You hit it out of the park. You got the reference right away. And then I go on Twitter and find out that I, on this show yesterday, was making fun of people constantly tweeting, Southwest. Kanye's new kid is going to be Southwest instead of Northwest. Ha 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 ha. I find out this morning that literally everybody and their mother thought she looked like Jessica Lynch. It's embarrassing. Jessica Lange, I mixed them up again. People don't realize how stupid I am sometimes. Jessica Lange. They reached out to Jessica Lange, and they asked her about being compared to this Caitlyn Jenner, of course, the new Bruce Jenner. And the American Horror Story actress said she didn't know what trending meant. They said, you're trending on Twitter, Jessica, because everybody thinks you look like Caitlyn Jenner. And she goes, she asked them to explain trending. She said, trending on Twitter because Caitlyn Jenner is on the cover. Lang said, you see, I don't do any of this stuff. The internet. Oh, I could understand why you would avoid that stuff. And then she found out, oh, really? That's so wonderful. Well, now I'm going to have to look for that picture. It's 2015, lady. There are people out there. Not even my parents. My parents couldn't be more technologically unsavvy. They're ignorant as far as current technology goes. But they have, of course, seen the Jessica Lange, Caitlyn Jenner photo. Can you, being in this world that Jessica Lange in, what kind of bubble must she be living in? That not only did she not see this photo that completely destroyed the internet, wiped any Kardashian out of even possibly being talked about in the public sphere, but the whole story was that she looked like her. As big as the Caitlyn Jenner story, picture, if you will, as big as that story was, try to get it into your head. Imagine if you looked like Caitlyn Jenner. If the first half of the story was, look at this, Bruce Jenner is now Caitlyn Jenner, look at this photo. And the second half of the story was, by the way, she looks like Johnny Appleseed. And in this category, you're Johnny Appleseed. And everybody's saying she looks like Johnny Appleseed. Can you imagine, Johnny, not being aware that people were saying that about you? I wish I could get that closed off. I wish I could lose touch to that degree. It'd be nice. It'd be really nice. Let's go to, it's probably healthy. It's probably way healthier. She probably lives a much more sane lifestyle, not worrying about what everybody's saying all the time, not, scrolling through everything. It's terrible. Let's go to Mike in Florida. What's up, Mike?
Hey, what's going on, Sam? How are you?
Good, pal.
Doing great. I want to be a long-time caller to this show. I, too, have not been to work since your show has been on. But I got a question. Who's going to be the first to say they hit it first on Caitlyn Jenner? Who do you think?
That's a great question. Well, what did Bruce say? When Bruce did the interview, they asked him
it was after the females.
He wants chicks still.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no big...
Do you think that's just the cover? Do you think that's just the short...
No,
cover?
I think...
He came out really fast. He hit it really hard. He hit the ground running.
No, I like girls.
He went from that.
I would think that
like this.
I would think that at this point he's not.
I'm a straight guy down here in Fort Lauderdale. When I saw that first picture, I'm not gonna lie, man. I was thinking, what a claim to fame, hit it first.
No, I mean I get it. I would love to be able to say that I was the first person, but I think Caitlyn Jenner is going to go for chicks. Maybe it'll be one of the famous trans people. Maybe it'll be Laverne Cox. Maybe it'll be Bailey J. Wouldn't that be a coup for everybody associated with this channel? If Bailey J., the comedian's favorite trans person, was the first person to hit Caitlyn Jenner.
Wow, that would be pretty hot. Can we need to get that on video, Sam? Do you want to broadcast from there?
I would love to do a live broadcast.
And also, one last thing. Do you see a transgender wrestler coming down the pike? I know we've had Goldust, but a more feminine with titties. What do you think, Sam?
I'm surprised we haven't already. I think there are a lot of wrestlers that are probably transgender anyway. I think there's no doubt that there hasn't been. You don't get into wrestling if you're not set. There's somebody there who's already transgender, I'm sure. I'm sure we're going to see it if Vince McMahon knows what he's doing. I would also wonder if there's some kind of, in the lesbian community, if there's a competition going on right now to see who can hook up with Caitlyn Jenner first. Like, that would be a big, big coup for Ellen. But maybe Portia de Rossi sees it happening. And she doesn't want Ellen to be the first. Portia de Rossi, way hotter than Ellen. Maybe she's going to be able to get right up from under that pixie dude lady. And she's going to be able to be the first one to hit it with Caitlyn Jenner. I don't know. I think it'll be a woman, though. I think she'll be in a relationship with a woman. Either another trans man or a woman. You heard it here first. I mean, this news broke here yesterday. This became, and I'm sorry, I feel like I took a little of the attention away from Caitlyn Jenner by making my show and her news start on the same day. I apologize for that. I know that a lot of people were talking about this show instead of Caitlyn Jenner's story and maybe in context with it, but we all have our news that we have to get out there, Caitlyn, so don't be shitty about it. Greg in Maryland. What's going on, Greg?
Hey, Sammy Bram Muffins, professional broadcaster, the future of radio.
That's right.
Voice.
That's right.
Generation.
That's right.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Hey, I have a question for you. It's kind of off topic. I hope that you don't mind.
I don't mind. I'm transitioning with your phone call.
I appreciate that. So you put out a picture of, hey, long way since Syracuse.
Yeah.
Right? And then it was a picture of you in a studio where you've got your computers, your microphone,
Yeah.
and you're facing a wall.
Yeah.
Is that where you are right now, facing a wall?
Yeah, there's no windows in this room I'm in. It's a tiny room. There's a whole bunch of monitors like Minority Report, and I'm talking to you. That's it.
So where does your guests sit? Do you see your guests?
Yeah, they're on the other side of me. The table kind of hooks around, and they're just right on the opposite side. You couldn't see it in the photo, but there's like a spot for one, maybe two guests in here. It gets tight otherwise.
Oh, theater of the mind has me going in all different shapes and sizes for this room that you're in, and I feel like you deserve a little better. Why can't you use Opie's new studio?
Well, of course Bennington's in there right now, but I think as far as theater of the mind goes, you should be realizing that this isn't some tiny little studio. This is Sam Roberts, Party Central. Woo! Woo! Look at this.
All right, well, congratulations on the new show, bro. I've been listening to you for a long time.
Playing music, partying. Paul's here, Sam's here. Yeah, welcome to Party Central. We got so much room in here. I'm all the way back here. Now I'm over here. I'm running around. I've been doing laps. I'm sorry. I've been running around the studio. It's so big. It's vast, as a matter of fact. Oh! I just fell on my headphone wire. That's how big this studio is. I was running farther than my headphone would go. Just playing tunes. Who knows who's going to stop by? I wish I had a doorbell sound effect and just let Paul walk in. Paul, you having a good time over there? Yeah, click that one. No, that one.
This one?
Yeah.
What's up?
You having a good time?
Great time.
It's Party Central,
Yeah.
Paul. Paul, our producer. Paul, why don't you get back to work? You're just too busy running around and partying. Can you believe how much space we have? Did you get that trampoline I was asking for?
It's on its way.
Oh, good. Also, I want an above-ground pool put in.
Above ground?
Yeah, like one of those white trash pools.
Oh, okay.
I can't install it into the studio, but we got plenty of room in here. It's great. It is great. My God. Let's go to Snowy in Michigan. What's up, pal?
Samuel.
How you doing?
I'm sensing some sarcasm now. I have a feeling your studio isn't really all that big.
No, it's huge. We've been partying all afternoon, and we will continue to do so here on Sam Roberts Show.
Don't put some echo in your thing, make it sound like it's really large then.
That's right. It's so big.
Haven't we already have a transgender in wrestling? Wasn't China transgender? Oh, wait a minute.
She's close. She's about as close as you're going to get, I think. About as close as you're going to get. Now, that Caitlyn Jenner story is not the only big update I have coming out. You want to talk about making an impact in terms of what Sam Roberts Show is doing now that we're daily here on Sirius XM.
One more time, so.
Yesterday, I made it clear. We are in a radio war. I think,
One more time.
Paul, we have this audio in Profit if you want to cue it up for me when you're done screening that call. We are in a radio war. There's a lot of people that are on the air at the same time as me, and a lot of people think that they have what it takes to go head to head, and unfortunately for them, they absolutely do not. I think you all know who I'm talking about. Look at the clock. You know who's about to be on the air. Mike Francesa. I came out strong yesterday and said there was a radio war between me and Mike Francesa. You must know who Mike Francesa is. We've been talking about him for a long time now. I used to talk about him a lot on Opie's show. You know him as the guy who spilled his Diet Coke. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to make it very, very clear. Yesterday, go to my Instagram. Go to Instagram.com/NotSam. Go to Twitter.com/NotSam. You can see a photo of yours truly, Sam Roberts, in studio. And what do you see next to me? A bottle of soda. Just like Mike Francesa. Not so much, though. It's not diet. It's regular. I'm not drinking diet soda while I'm broadcasting. I'm drinking regular soda while I'm broadcasting. You know what that makes me, Mike Francesa? More of a man than you. There's no doubt about it. You know how I know I'm in his kitchen, deep in his kitchen? You know how I know Mike Francesa is shook up by this whole thing? All I did was mention him once. I went on the air yesterday once and said there was a radio war brewing between yours truly and Mike Francesa. He went on the air yesterday. And let's just say he started talking about the possibility of a retirement. Let's listen to a clip real quick.
So the stuff originated had nothing to do from me, and I don't have a representative. I represent myself. So there's no one else that speaks for me. So that didn't come from me. I can tell you that. None of it did. And some of it is true, some of it is not. Is the best I can give you. I'm not going to sort through and parse through every word of it, but some is true and some is not. There are issues which I think I've been honest with you about. And I don't know that they can be fixed.
Oh, the need.
My feeling right now is they can't be. But I'm here till I'm not here. Is the best I can give you right now, and I can't give you more than that, to be honest with you. I'm under contract right now, and that's where we stand at the moment. You know, and when I have more to tell you, I promise I'll tell you first. I won't tell the newspapers first. I'll tell you first. I promise you that. I promise you that. I will tell you first. Joe in Florida. What's up, Joe?
Mike, you don't have to tell them first. They can hear it loud and clear. Sorry to be the one to dethrone the king of sports in New York, Mike Francesa. Listen, Mike, read the subtext on what he just said. He's here until he's not here. He's ready to throw in the towel right now. I couldn't believe when I heard him say this yesterday. Somebody sent me the clip, and they sent it to me. And I listened to it. And I couldn't believe. Never have I so quickly scared a man into possibly foregoing the rest of his broadcasting career. Mike Francesa has been on the air for 30 years. He has no problem letting everybody know this. But guess what? This is the last one. This is the last year. Why? Because there's a new kid in town. Some people call him Sammy Brand Muffins. I don't call myself that. I call myself Primetime Sam Roberts, and I'm taking Mike Francesa out. It's obvious to me. Everybody can see where this is going. Let's go to Denise. Denise, you're on the air.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi. This might be a question more for Jimmy, but I'm starting to get gender confused with those that are transgender that aren't going like the full Monty. You know, like Bailey's got the dick and she's got the boobs and she's a chick, but isn't she still a dude? And if Jenner, is he going to keep the dick, lose the dick? Like, what makes you a girl versus a dude?
Yeah, it's all very confusing. It's 2015, and you kind of just have to be accepting of everything. So, that's why I keep saying trans person, because I don't even know anymore. I guess if you're a man, if you're Bruce Jenner, and you become Caitlyn Jenner, you're a trans woman or a trans man. She's a woman now, but she's a trans person. I always just say trans person and hope that nobody gets on my case about it.
Yeah, but if you've got the junk, you're still a dude. So, right, it's not just your hormone levels that make you.
Yeah, I guess
that you are.
I don't really care enough. Like, if people can call themselves, like, if I decided I was a wombat today, if I said from now on I've got my own show and I'd like to tell everybody that I actually feel like I was born a wombat. I have the soul of a wombat. And that's why I've been acting the way I've been acting, very baddish, because I am, in my person, a wombat. I would hope that the rest of you would just allow me to be a wombat. I allow people, whatever you want to call yourself that, I'll call you that. Who cares? What difference does it possibly make to me? But I would just call Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner, a trans person, and say, more power to you. I'm a wombat from here on out. And I'd like for people to treat me as they would a wombat, which is he's adorable but very, very dangerous.
Okay.
And Australian.
I'm just thinking of the biology. The biology of it is what I'm thinking of. But I don't guess you're absolutely right. Whatever you want to be, you be.
Right.
But
even if it's a wombat.
Yeah, or the new Mini Mike. We'll call you Mini Mike.
Right. Whatever you want to do. Thank you, Denise. We go to Drew in Tennessee. What's up, Drew?
Hey, not much, Sam. How you doing today?
Good, pal.
Hey, congrats on the show.
Thanks, buddy.
So they're actually about 2-3 years ago, 2012, the American Wrestling Alliance. There was a girl. Her name. It was him now. It's Mariah Morena, and went on the first ever documented transgender professional wrestler. She goes by the name of Amanda the Bloodthirsty Vixen.
That's awesome.
So she's had a little bit of a career through here. I know you're a big pro wrestling fan. Check this out. Kind of pretty attractive lady on there, man. But so as far as as what I've seen on there, that's the first documented actual transgender wrestler that got any kind of notoriety and fame. I think she does some Japan stuff now too. So
yeah, it's a good call, buddy. I think there's no doubt that that's inevitable in terms of pro wrestling and every other sport, really. Any women's sport will have trans women in it at some point. I don't think there is any excuse if you're a trans person to not come off the table attractive. I've been thinking about this, especially after I saw the Bruce Jenner photos, the Caitlyn Jenner photos, because you're going on the table, you're going under the knife. There's got to be some form of surgery. If you're fully, even if you're not getting your dick and balls cut off, even if you're not going the full put a vagina on me, you're gonna add breasts. You're going to have your trachea shaved down. You're going to have some kind of hormone therapy. If you're going under the knife anyway, there's no reason why. It's you know what? Also, my nose is a little pointy. Why don't you round that out for me while we're there? Why don't you tuck this? Why don't you do that? There's no reason. Why don't you pin my earlobes back a little bit while we're under the knife? Because you're already there. You're already going to a pretty extreme place. Because you know what you want to look like. So I think that's why when trans people make their first, and I guess that's trans people with money. You have to have money. And maybe that's why that's just an advantage of being a trans person with money. But any trans person who has money has got to make their debut looking like $1 million because there's really no excuse otherwise.
Yeah, and if I had $1 million, I'd do the same thing.
Chris.
Why wouldn't you?
Chris, you weren't on the air, buddy. Yeah, I don't know. I just picked you up and you.
I understand that. I understand.
Now you're on the air, though. Now you're on the air. You're on the air. Chris.
I don't understand why you would cut yourself off and make a point. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, I mean, why you would cut it? Because you're not a trans person. I mean, I'm assuming are you a homosexual or heterosexual person?
I'm completely straight.
Okay, so you probably also don't understand why a man would want to suck another man's dick, right?
I have no idea why. It totally baffles my mind.
Right, but there are a bunch of gay guys that are
for the media to step around it and act like it's no big deal is wrong.
Well, they're not acting like it's no big deal. It's the biggest story in the country. But
it is the biggest story in the country, and they're all saying that how great a thing it is, and it's not a great thing.
What's wrong with it? There are a bunch of gay guys that probably
he cut his dick off.
There are a bunch of gay guys that wouldn't understand why you want to lick a pussy. You know what I mean? That'd be that's disgusting. That's gross. I wouldn't do that. But you're no, it's great. You should try it. And they're I don't want to try it. You should suck a dick.
And you're sense, man.
I mean, guess what?
People in the media
I don't need spaghetti.
It's a good thing. Is absurd.
I am choosing to live my life as a wombat. Is that absurd? Or is that my choice?
Well, apparently it's your choice.
That's my choice. I'm going to be a wombat from here on out. A wombat who wears human clothes.
I heard that.
But that's my choice, and that's my journey, and that's the life that I choose to lead here on Sam Roberts Show. And I'm excited that you all get to go through my transition with me.
Wonderful.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later. You gotta have a little bit of a sense of humor about things. Even Bruce Jenner wants you to. So breaking news here on Sam Roberts Show. We gotta get a breaking news stinger, Paul, because so far 2 shows, 2 bits of breaking news. This just went out over Twitter. FIFA president Sepp Blatter announces he will resign amid the corruption scandal. I've been loving following this FIFA story. Of course, FIFA is the resigning body over soccer. And they're the ones who get to pick, who gets to host the World Cup, who gets to do pretty much everything as far as worldwide soccer goes. But the scandal has been that they've been accepting payments from people and bribery and all this stuff to basically cheat. Everybody's supposed to get a fair turn. It's always weird when you have private businesses like FIFA. They're not government bodies. It's a business. It's soccer. Like, we're trying to make money doing it. It's always weird to me when you have to take turns. Even the Olympics. I've always found it weird that you have to kind of take turns, and there's a set of rules, and we got to make sure it's fair for everybody. Most business is not fair for everybody. But there's a set of rules that FIFA has to abide by to make sure that everybody gets a shot at hosting the World Cup. And Qatar is where they're doing the next World Cup. Qatar. Not guitar, Qatar, with a Q, but no U. I don't think. And so people started to look into it and be like, how the fuck did this country, with no soccer history, with no soccer team, with nothing going on, how are they the ones that are hosting the World Cup? And then all this is like, dirt started to come up, and people started to realize that they were accepting bribes, and they were doing all of this terrible stuff. Now, a couple of people from FIFA have come forward and tried to defend themselves. It's always funny. I feel like when you know you're wrong, when you're like, okay, we've been, like Bernie Madoff. Bernie Madoff, on some level, knew for years and years and years that he was fucking people over. That he was not doing the right thing. He was fucking people over every time. But he just didn't say anything about it. Once you get caught, maybe you live in such a delusionary world where you think what you're doing is right because morally you can't handle what a shit person you are. Maybe you start to convince yourself that it's okay, and you be okay with it, and you deny until you don't even know the truth anymore. I think it's more people just lie, and they just keep digging and digging and digging and digging. The whole keep digging until people go away has never been a good strategy for anybody. And it wasn't for FIFA either. One of the top-ranking FIFA people, I don't think it was this guy who just resigned, but one of the other ones put out a video to try to justify what he was doing and make himself seem better, and say that the reason that FIFA was getting such a hard time was because the United States was upset that they weren't getting the World Cup, and so they were making stuff up about FIFA, of all the outrage. This was a clip from his YouTube video. He put it out, and he's risking going to jail and getting thrown out of FIFA and all this stuff. But he put this video out to try to defend himself. This is a quick clip from it.
If I was so bad, and if FIFA is so bad, how come the head of FIFA is not? And then I look...
I am the captain now.
If I was so bad, and if FIFA is so bad, how come the head of FIFA is not? And then I look to see that FIFA has frantically announced 2015, this year, Olympic final in the World Cup begin May 27th. If the FIFA is so bad, why the USA wants to keep the FIFA World Cup? Why is it they began games on May 27th? May 27th, 2 days before FIFA election. Why is it the US...
Why you do this? If you want to call up 866-969-1969, you know that you're not doing a good job of accepting bribes if, in order to provide a soundtrack to your video, it has to be playing somewhere in the room. Did you hear that dramatic music that was playing while he was talking? Obviously coming from a speaker in the room that he was filming. We add soundtrack. Now, this is not a guy in a third world country. This is one of the head guys at FIFA, not the head guy, who, by the way, he tried to throw the head of FIFA under the bus. Why is he not a bad guy? Well, now he's fucking retiring, and it's probably not voluntary. But the reason why I played that clip is because you could hear, as I was playing it, paper rustling, right? You could hear the paper rustling, and he was showing you this newspaper article that he had in his hand that proved his case, that was giving the evidence of what the United States was doing. The source was The Onion. He printed out an article with a big headline over it that said The Onion, and it was like United States rushing to get the World Cup going in 2015. It made no sense. It was an obvious parody article. I've been the victim of clicking those clickbait links on Facebook and stuff thinking they're real, but never from The Onion. The Onion is like a worldwide known thing. The Onion is everybody has to know The Onion as a parody newspaper. And even if they don't, if you're in FIFA and there's parody soccer news, you should not be able to get tricked that easily. It's ridiculous. So the whole organization is falling apart. And like we just said, breaking news, the head of FIFA is stepping down amidst all this chicanery and accusations, which leads me to believe they're probably more than just accusations. Let's go to the calls again. 866-969-1969 to be a part of Sam Roberts Show. We go to Ray in Texas. What's up, pal?
Hey, what's going on, Sam?
How you doing?
Good. Hey, is that guy the same dude that used the Onion article?
That's not the guy who stepped down, but the clip I was just playing. He's holding up an Onion article.
Yeah, that guy.
Amazing.
Yeah, that was some absolutely ridiculous shit. And what's hilarious is that, like, like, these guys don't even, like, give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the
FIFA guys?
Yeah, that's how nonchalant it is. It's like, I'm not even going to do any research. I'm just going to pick up the first thing I see on the internet that says anything.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this guy, I can make an argument out of this, and it's soccer news. You're the head governing body of soccer. You can't tell that's a parody. It's The Onion, the best known source for parodies in the world. It's like picking up Mad Magazine and saying, see, there's a script right here for the boobies. It's like the Goonies, but about boobies. No, that's a parody. That's not an actual movie script. Oh.
I'll tell you, it does make me wonder, though, like, how much of this stuff is going on in sports leagues in general. Like, if there's something we see with the Olympics, or there's something we see maybe domestically with the NFL and stuff.
I feel like all these major sports leagues, like the ones that are making millions and billions of dollars, where the world is competing to be a part of it. So your Olympics, your FIFAs, there are world powers competing with each other just to get these organizations to come to their lands. I think with that much power comes this sort of feeling of invincibility, and they just do whatever the fuck they want to do. And then when they get caught, instead of just admitting it and dealing with the consequences, they keep lying, and they find whatever news source they can find to agree with them, even if it's The Onion.
Indeed.
All right. I'll talk to you later, pal. Let's go to Dave in D.C. Dave, welcome to Sam Roberts Show.
Sammy Bram up, and it's actually Damon from D.C. How you doing, bud?
Wow, names are not Paul's strong suit.
No, I'm on my Bluetooth. But anyway, man, that's cool, dude. I called in and I won that $500 from that Intricate contest. Anyway, this FIFA thing is ridiculous, but the truth is, I played soccer through college, and I played with the Olympic Development Program, and it's a very known fact that corruption goes on within FIFA, and you're exactly right when you're talking about this asshole with the Onion. That's hilarious. That amazes me. But when countries like Qatar bid for this, it's very similar to federal contracting, where they bribe the shit out of FIFA, and FIFA doesn't have any oversight, so they take the money, and that's how they justify the bid.
And then they said they put out, I was reading a report where one of the, like a district attorney from the United States was brought on to independently investigate FIFA. He submitted to them a 350-page report to say, this is what I found. And FIFA said, okay, we'll take a look at it. They took his report, they turned it into 45 pages, and then they made that public. And the attorney's sitting there going, this is not at all what I found. This isn't even a little bit.
It's like the Warren Commission. And the thing is, there's so much money in soccer. And I work in the MMA industry, and our industry is more regulated than FIFA is. And it goes through now the states with the boxing commission now.
It must be one of those things where MMA is a new sport. People are caught on to how powerful these sports organizations become, so they're not going to let you guys get that kind of weight.
Oh yeah, man! We just started about a year ago, and I think we had to pay about $20,000 just to get our bond for each event we do, and we have so much oversight, and we're based in the state of Florida, and it's funny to me to watch this go on with FIFA, which generates, 50 times the money that even UFC generates. No one. The thing is, it's a war organization, so there's no NATO for it, for example. What are they going to do?
Right, yeah, you gotta just deal with it, or you try to independently investigate it and the fucking walls come crumbling down.
Oh, yeah, man.
That's when you know it's really corrupt, when one little thing, you just move one rock and go, what's this? And the entire structure just collapses around you because it's all built on that.
Yeah, it's funny that I didn't know about that 300-page investigation.
It's incredible. Like, why bother hiring this dude if you're not even... It's just, do you think... And this is what happens with these companies. They get so full of themselves that they think they can hire a guy to come on board and do this report. And they can just say, don't worry, everybody. We hired somebody. He's an independent source. Everything's fine. And then they can just take his findings and throw them in the garbage, and nobody's going to ask any questions.
Who's going to say anything? It's global. It's been going on for so long, and what's funny is that it's worse here because of CONCACAF, which is the divisions here, like North America down to Mexico, and there is so much shady shit going on with that, with refs being bribed. Not so much in the United States, but it happens everywhere. It doesn't surprise me, man.
Yeah, man.
But anyway, your show, you're doing real well, man. What is this, your third day?
Thanks, pal. No, it's second day. I know it already feels like my third day. It feels like I have 3 days under my belt. Only 2.
I love it, man. Congratulations, dude.
Thanks, pal. I'll talk to you later.
All right, man. Later.
Let's go to Justin in Jersey. What's up, pal?
Sammy,
Yeah, buddy.
it's pretty incredible that the country that arguably hates soccer the most. And let me preface this by saying that I'm a huge football fan. Played my whole life. Love the game.
You mean, wait. Football or football?
Football.
Football. Okay, we're talking about football.
Yeah. I mean, Americans as a whole hadn't really embraced the game.
No.
So it took our legal system, or whatever, our federal legal system, to actually get something done with it. Just a flagrantly...
Yeah, that's actually a great point. Why? What? All these countries that actually care about soccer, that don't just fill up bars when the World Cup is around, actually watch like regularly every season. Why didn't one of them ever say, hey, wait a minute, everything is fucked up with this organization? It probably is, because the U.S. got pissed and we got nothing to lose. The U.S. wanted the World Cup. They got pissed, nothing to lose. So they're just like, all right, we're going to go after FIFA. Because the NCAA is as corrupt as an organization comes, as far as I'm concerned. But it's an American organization, so we're not going to go after them that hard.
There's these two guys, Men in Blazers. They do a great, commentary on soccer as a whole. And they've been on Twitter. They've been freaking out about the whole announcement of Sepp Blatter finally getting the fuck out of there.
Yeah, Blatter is gone from FIFA. Thanks, buddy.
See you, Sam. Doing a great job.
Thank you, pal. And by the way, people are probably sitting there going, Sam, I didn't know you know sports. How do you know the NCAA is corrupt? Because Michael Rappaport told me. Let's go to Rick in L.A. What's up, buddy?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, my name's Nick.
Oh, Paul, his name is Nick, not Rick. How could you make that mistake? That's ridiculous. You got to listen to these people. It makes them feel better to know that we know their names. How's it going, Rick?
Nick.
Oh.
It's going well. Hey, it sounds a lot like a sports talk radio channel that I'm listening to, and I like the virus. I want to hear DJ Who Kid talk about all his illegitimate children and things like that. Can we get back to that thing?
Yeah,
and not get too serious with the sports?
It amazes even me what a varied performer I am, but I appreciate the compliment. Let's go to James in Ohio. What's up, James?
Hey, Sammy. Hey, listen, the Onion went so far in that article to make up an event. This guy was quoting that he was good and righteous and innocent based on this article for a fake event. It's not even a real FIFA-sanctioned event. That was the part that blew my mind.
He's a high-ranking official at FIFA. He doesn't even know what his own organization is doing. Let's go to a prank call from Roland. Roland.
Yeah, FIFA sounds dangerous. FIFA.
Good. Did you get your lunch today?
Yeah.
Good.
FIFA. Dangerous.
Let's go to Vince in Philly. What's up, Vince?
Sam Roberts, professional broadcaster.
Yeah, buddy.
I am a happy man to be alive to hear that you have your own daily show.
Well, I am too.
If you remember me, I had my heart surgery in December.
Mm-hmm.
And, my lungs are still crap. But going to cardiac rehab, it just
That's right.
I'm doing well there.
You
Just
called me.
doesn't
You
translate.
called me on the air right before your heart surgery, right?
That's right.
During the pre-show
I did.
or something.
Yeah, I had a valve replacement and a bypass.
So I guess what you're saying is, on the show's second day on the air as a daily show, that we are literally saving lives?
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Absolutely.
You heard it. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it right there. It's not my words. It's Vince in Philly's words. All right, buddy. I'll talk to you. I'm glad you're doing better, pal.
Well,
good to hear your voice. Let's go to Dan in Pennsylvania.
Hey, Sam Roberts, professional broadcaster.
That's right.
Hey, John Oliver did a great segment on his show Sunday night about this whole FIFA thing and why they got the power over the rest of the world. And they talk about it's all about the money. You know, the smallest countries in the world get the same money as the U.S. and Russia and England. So it's all about, bribery and keeping the small countries fat and happy.
I wonder how they're going to survive after this. FIFA, I mean. How they're going to... I mean, the fact that those small countries do it, they have starving people all around their countries, and instead of just buying food with the money, they're like, oh, what if we give you $1 billion? Come and play soccer here. Everybody's going to love it. What? Why would anybody love that? You know how expensive pretzels are in those stadiums? I wonder how FIFA survives this whole thing as an organization. I guess it will. It's just so massive. It's one of those things, like somehow the banks survived in the United States after we found out they were all just shitty, corrupt establishments. Matt in Boston?
Sammy, how you doing?
Good, pal.
Excellent. So I was watching Entourage the other day. It's an episode called Gotta Look Up to Get Down, aired in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's favorite character, Ari Gold, looks over to Babs and goes, Babs, what's the haps? And I just wanted to know if that's where you got a little bit of your inspiration.
Absolutely not. A lot of people don't know this, but the character Ari Gold is actually based on me, Sam Roberts. They say Ari, I am the radio version of Ari Gold, and that character was indeed based on myself. They use some of my language. I've allowed it. Marky Mark Wahlberg, that's what I call him because we're friends, contacted me and asked if he could use that in the series. I gave my blessing with of course a certain amount of money. I did get quite a substantial return for Ari Gold's character to be able to use that. But yeah, that's how that came about.
Must be why I like him and you so much.
That's right. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks.
I'll talk to you later. Listen, I was talking to Paul Feig earlier. We were talking about funny women. We also mentioned that Jessimae Peluso would be on the show. Funny woman Jessimae Peluso is on the show immediately after this. We're partying. Still, it's a giant party room here in the Sam Roberts studio. Back, Sam Roberts Show, live every day now here on Opie Radio. XM 103, Sirius 206. Starting at noon. We go until 2. Just 2 hours. Real easy show. Not a lot of heavy lifting for Sam Roberts. That's what they were like, you want to do 2 hours or 3 hours? Let's go 2. Let's make it simple. But, of course, you can get the show on demand all the time. We're uploading stuff all the time. As a matter of fact, literally this morning, I uploaded to YouTube videos of the last time my guest, Jessimae Peluso, was in studio. Hello, Jessimae.
Hi, Sam Roberts.
How are you?
I'm so happy to be here.
I'm glad that we haven't lost our formality.
Samuel Roberts. Does anyone call you Samuel?
No.
That's my dad's middle name.
Is it?
Yep.
That's a strong name.
It's a strong name for a very weak man.
Yes. That's exactly right. I uploaded some clips to YouTube. Last time you were in, I believe the 3 clips I uploaded were one time you got paid with hot dogs.
I did.
You explaining anal bleaching.
Which, those two things go hand in hand.
They go hand in hand. And then, do you remember what the third one was?
Getting paid for hot dogs.
Where were you?
We just said getting paid for hot dogs.
He was here just a second ago when you said that.
I feel like I'm talking to no one when you do that to me, Paul. First, you can't get names right. I don't know. There's 3 great clips over at
There's a lot of fun clips.
youtube.com/notsam. What brings you back in town, Jessimae?
I actually was recording some interviews for my podcast.
Oh,
yeah.
You're actually putting some money into this podcast?
You know,
that's risky.
You got to throw money at the problem.
Yeah.
It's risky. It is risky.
It is.
Isn't everything in life risky? Your hair is risky, Sam.
It's a huge risk. Everything worth doing is risky. If you want to call up now, you can talk to Jessimae Peluso and Sam Roberts. That's me.
That's you.
866-969-1969 is the phone number. 866-969-1969. So what's your podcast?
Sharp Tongue.
And who are you interviewing?
I interview everybody. Anybody that I like, anybody I'm friends with, maybe people I don't like, you.
Well, I was about to say, I have made 0 of those lists so far because I haven't gotten the invite, so...
I would love to interview you.
So why wouldn't you just say, hey... I mean, all you would have to do is call me and say, hey, do you want to do that? And I would go, yeah, of course.
Well, maybe I'll do that. Well, it depends.
It depends.
We'll see how this goes. We'll see how the next few minutes in this room goes.
Party room.
You could mess this all up.
That's true.
You did this to us.
Now there's finally a lot of pressure on me.
You have one hair that's out of place that really is pissing me off.
Well,
what is it with you and the one hair that's always unruly?
What I do is I put it there purposely because I have that rebellious spirit in me. And women, it drives them literally crazy. You'll start by... like the OCD kicking in, but then eventually it'll get you in your loins.
Oh my God, loins!
And you'll realize I give so little fucks that I will let a little hair go crazy, and you'll.
I feel uncomfortable with you saying the word loins.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's unsettling. Who's this slob coming in behind me?
Speaking of unsettling,
there he is.
He just came to help. You can screen the calls if you want.
Yeah, get in there. Make your money's worth.
866-969-1969 is the phone number. So who are you interviewing while you're here?
Charlemagne the God.
Charlemagne.
Yes.
I used to listen to Charlemagne when he was on Wendy Williams' show. Now he's on Power 105, I guess, in the morning here in New York. He's just this black guy.
That's all he is. Is just this black guy.
He's just some black guy. He's a guy. Is that the first question? Is when did you start being black? That would be ridiculous. But he's made a reputation for himself basically just talking shit.
He talks shit, and his story is really interesting. We got into some really deep stuff.
He went to jail, right?
A bunch of times.
What do you do that for?
I mean, it's a rite of passage for certain people. Don't act like you're not going to go to jail one day for sitting too long at a playground.
No, you're right. But it's just where I find peace. It doesn't have anything to do with who's there. It's just my happy
The playground is empty. It just reminds you of your childhood that never was.
Right. Exactly. It's a metaphor.
It's a metaphor.
Just staring at an empty playground thinking, yeah,
I never knew that.
That was me.
Once.
Just an empty playground.
Just an empty playground.
Around.
No parents to love me.
No, none.
You're not a perv.
So, did you enjoy Charlemagne?
I did enjoy Charlemagne.
Who else did you
Nick
talk
DiPaolo.
Okay, he's always a blast.
Nick is great because he's so ornery.
Yeah. He's just upset about things.
He's upset about things, but he has a right to be upset about things because, he's an old man.
He is. And he's gotten to that place in life where all optimism has been beaten out of him.
All of it.
I think we're still at the age where a lot of it has. In your 20s is when, optimism is just pouring in. But as you head to your late 20s, early 30s...
And you realize everyone's dying.
Right. People that are dead.
Yeah.
How many people do you know that are dead?
Everyone I know is dead. I'm alone in life.
Wow. That's so sad. That must make doing the podcast nearly impossible.
I know. I'm repeating the same 2 people. And just having them do different characters.
Just over and over. But yeah, when you start scrolling through your phone book on your phone... Not your actual phone book, but your virtual phone book.
Yeah.
And you're like, there's dead people's phone numbers in my phone.
I know, that's weird. You ever think about that? The people
all the time.
And then if you call them...
No, I don't call them. They're dead.
You don't call them?
They're not going to answer.
They might, though. Someone might answer.
Yeah, that's the problem. I don't want to talk to somebody else with that number and be like, oh, it's so-and-so's phone number. No, it's not. It's just some lady's phone number.
It's some older lady now. It's not even your friend anymore.
Right.
It's Ethel.
I feel like the phone number in the phone is sort of this, you'll live forever. And then if you call it and Ethel picks up, no. Sam, you were mistaken. He will not live forever. He's very much
gone.
dead.
He's dead forever.
The essence of the person that you knew doesn't exist.
There's no more smell.
Right. It smells horrible now.
So
it's a
dead.
body in a box.
Yep.
Very far under the ground.
That smell only lasts for a few days, though. Decays very fast.
And then it's just bones?
Yeah, well, it just, the smell doesn't last forever.
How would you know that?
I read a book about the decay and decomposition of a body.
Why?
Because I thought it'd be interesting to learn about that. Because I'm not gonna know what that's like. I'm not become a forensic scientist
Unless you keep
or
your
investigator.
curiosity and you're just a serial killer. Like, I'm sure Jeffrey Dahmer knew exactly how long it took to...
Yeah, he was probably
for a body to
educated.
decay.
I just think it's interesting.
And did you find the book interesting?
It was really interesting. It's so gross, but it's really, like, it's nerdy stuff.
So you know now.
I know what happens. I know that bacteria farts.
Bacteria farts?
That's actually what causes a smell. Like, the microorganisms fart. They let off gases. Those teeny little things.
So, I don't understand, but where are the microorganisms?
They're the things that are breaking down your body.
Oh, so they're literally, like, eating away your flesh and farting.
Yeah.
Because it gives them gas when they eat the flesh.
So bodies can fart post-humus.
Wow. Posthumously.
I know I say things wrong. I'm from Syracuse, but the term is correct.
That's okay. At least you're well-read.
Yeah. I'm well-read. I just don't pronounce things properly.
Man, oh man. Have you had a death fascination for a long time?
I have. I think it's interesting.
You walked in here with a black hoodie on, and you've got your hood up. You look like the Grim Reaper, and you're telling me about how fast a body can decompose.
And I'm single.
And that's weird. Have you tried to have this conversation with boyfriends?
Well, I mean, I haven't had a boyfriend in a while, but yeah, I've talked about this with other people because that stuff interests me.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to not talk about it.
No, you're right. I mean, that's the right thing to do.
Posthumous.
But does it interest anybody else?
You're not interested by it a little bit?
I'm kind of weirded out by the whole thing.
Oh, come on. You're weirded out?
Well, I'm like, I guess it's one thing when I have a curiosity about it. But when you're telling me that you're reading books about how fast it takes for people to decompose...
See, why you got to pluralize it? I only said one.
Did you only read one?
Yes.
Just
there
one?
might have been two.
There could have been more than one.
There could have been some articles as well in the Wall Street Journal.
That's what I mean. How long did you get a death fascination for, though?
I think my whole life.
Really?
Because I like horror movies and stuff like that. I'm fascinated by, that whole genre.
Were you like a metalhead?
Not really a metalhead. I was into all sorts of music, but I just love being scared and freaky stuff.
Yeah.
Don't you? I thought you liked horror movies.
I love horror movies. I love all that stuff, but I try to not stick to the actual literal science of what happens to you when you die, because then I get depressed because I start to realize that there's just nothing after this.
But isn't there some sort of... See, I understand that logic, but for me, I find peace in the literalness of it. Like, this is what happens. To me, that calms me down to know that I have no control.
Right, that it's not a whole bunch of questions about what happens next, It's like, I know exactly what happens. Yeah. You turn off like a computer, so I'm going to enjoy this, and then that will be it.
And that's it. There's peace in the divinity of it.
I like to think that there's got to be something to this. There's a humanity to it. I feel like my energy has to mean something. So maybe my energy gets transferred out into something else.
Into a fart.
Into a fart. And that's it. Into a microorganism farting. The idea of not being conscious anymore bothers me.
Yeah, but you're not.
I don't want to miss anything, Jessimae.
You're going to miss so much.
It's a FOMO thing.
You know what you're going to miss?
What?
You're going to miss cars levitating. You're
don't say that.
Yes, you're going to miss Marty McFly. You're going to miss when he's on the water.
But he looks so cool.
You're going to miss it all. We're going to miss the coolest shit.
Well, that's what people always say, because that's what the argument is. They go, I think Penn Jillette says this. He goes, well, I'm not afraid of death because were you scared? Like, did you miss what you didn't see before you were alive?
Wow, that just blew my skull off.
And you go, no, I don't miss any of that. And he goes, okay, well, you won't miss what you miss after you die.
Yeah, amen
and I
to
go,
that.
yeah, but guess what? I don't want to live in the Baroque era. I don't want to live in castles where they were cold or hot and they had no heat or air conditioning. I don't want to live when they burn people at the stake. I don't want to live in any of that. You know what I want to live? The future. Because all that happens is shit gets better.
Shit gets better in the future.
And that's what I don't want to miss.
I don't want to miss all the technological advances.
Because that I'll go off onto a whole other tangent on. But I'm convinced that I will die.
You will.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to the next topic.
No, tell me.
I'm convinced that I'm going to die right before they figure out how to make it so you don't have to die. And then I'll be like, fuck!
Like, what was that movie, that stupid movie with Mel Gibson, Forever Young? Cryogenics, right? When they
all I know is Man Without a
freeze you.
Face.
Oh, Man Without a Face, what a good movie! And he befriended the little kid.
That's right, he did, the freak. Yeah, no, I don't know Forever Young.
It's Mel Gibson, and they freeze him, and then he wakes up like 30 years later, so he never really died.
Oh.
But then he aged really fast because his body caught up.
Oh, fuck.
So then he did die. Well, that was a horrible comparison. I apologize. Death is real. We're all dying.
He just gets unfrozen, and then his body just catches up?
Yeah, he like thaws out like a chicken cutlet.
scratch that plan off the list. Frozen is not going to happen. Ted Williams is going to be fucking pissed. Let's go to Frank. Frank, welcome to Sam Roberts Show.
Danny!
Yeah?
You're doing a fantastic job.
Thanks, pal.
I just want to let you know that I look forward to 12 o'clock now. I got my beer, I got my weed, and I listen to Sammy. It's awesome.
That's right. That's the great thing about this show is once you get fucked up, super fucked up, it starts getting funny.
It's actually getting good already, pal.
All right, buddy.
And Jessimae.
I'm here. I'm here for you.
I love your blog. I love your iPod. Sorry, not blog. I apologize.
He's
Love
all
your
fucked
iPod.
up.
I'm all fucked up.
It's okay. You're high. I'm on the level with you, bro.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later. Let's go to, what's his name? You don't have a name. It just says if she has a fascination. What's the name? Line 1. If you have a fascination. What's your name?
Joey.
Joey. Where are you from, Joey?
Yeah. I'm from Texas, man.
What's up, buddy?
What's your name? Wanted to let Jesse know, I used to be a forensic death investigator here for the medical examiner's office locally, and I'm single, too. Hey, we both have something in common.
He said he's single too. You're a medical examiner?
At a forensic.
Oh, that's so cool.
I was a forensic investigator for the medical examiner. I was the one going out. While you get to stay at home and sleep, I was going out, picking up the body parts.
Oh, my God. That's so freaky. So you know about skin slip and all that gross stuff?
What's skin slip?
Skin slip is like when your skin starts to come off of your body when you're decomposing. It's just a stage in decomposition.
Oh, my God. You read this book like several times. There's no way you could retain this amount of information.
I read it once.
No, you didn't.
I swear to God, I read it once.
I know you. You don't retain information on that level.
Well, how do you know I can't retain the information, even though I can't say posthumous, however you say it?
I feel like I have conversations with you and I have to have them 9 times before you're like, oh, I understand.
Maybe your information. Maybe like your personal stories I don't remember.
Oh, maybe because they're very boring?
Is this our second fight?
This is at least our third.
Today?
Yeah. Tom in Massachusetts.
Hey, Sam, I just want to give you a heads up. You can hear the phone screener on the air, and it's kind of driving me crazy.
Well, you know, when you're in a room as big as this, the Sam Roberts party room, sometimes other voices, you can hear them mingling. That's all that is.
What can you hear?
You can hear the phone screener talking in the background.
Yeah, well, you know what? We got people in our lives, okay?
Yeah, there's a lot of mingling going on here. It's the party show.
You're lucky you don't hear me queefing in the corner.
You do. I asked you to please not queef if you were going to come back on the show.
And I listened to you, and I respected your suggestion.
Do dead bodies queef?
Yes, they do.
Oh, my God.
Do you know your genitals swell as well? Because you have more bacteria near your orifices?
That's not so bad. Can you catch like a little of that and then you kind of get revived?
You don't want swollen balls.
Oh, just the balls?
Everything gets swollen.
Well, that's fine then.
What about your butthole? You can walk around?
I would deal with a swollen butthole if I could get a little extra girth.
Really?
Yeah, sure. Why
Wow.
not? Who cares about the butthole?
You're just selling your soul to the devil.
Well,
for girth.
Satan, if you're listening to the show right now.
Mr. Satan.
Mr. Satan, I know you are because of the theme of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And I want you to know that if you will give me a little extra length, a little extra girth in the shaft, don't use any of your fucking wordplay because I know you'd like to do that.
He puts it all in your taint.
I'm talking specifically penis, Satan. If you will do that for me, I will accept a slightly, listen to my words, and I've got witnesses, the party room is full.
It's full.
Slightly swollen butthole. I will accept it. I will accept it, for the record.
I'll be there to bleach it for you.
That's out there, and I appreciate
As a friend.
that. I appreciate
I'll
that.
use my anal bleach gel for you.
Good. Have you been using it?
I'm not going to apply it, but I'll bring it. I'll supply. I won't apply.
Okay, well, I'll be swollen by that point, so I should be able to reach it.
I'll be swollen emotionally.
Have you been using your anal bleach gel?
I ran out of it, and I can't bring myself to go purchase it at a store.
Well, that means that you used a lot of it. I thought it was a big,
You don't even know how much I had.
It was a gallon-sized jug. I saw it.
It was not. That
Oh.
was hand sanitizer. Did you put that in your butthole?
I did.
Okay,
and
well,
it stung.
So clean, though.
It was clean. I always feel like part of me is also when I see dead bodies, I don't think, like, I couldn't hang out with that guy who works in the morgue, like that forensic doctor, because I feel like I would start to lose motivation to do things because I just see that this is just a dead body. This is what happens to everybody. So
It would be.
Fuck it. Why am I trying at anything?
Yeah, it would be bad.
You know?
It would be kind of bad. You would just start walking around like a slug. Not caring, letting your butthole just blow up.
Right. I'd have a giant dick and a swollen butthole, and I would do
don't even care
nothing
to
with
use
either
it.
one. It'd be embarrassing.
What's the point?
Exactly. What's the point? Let's go to, if you want to call up, Jessimae Peluso is on Sam Roberts Show, 866-969-1969. We'll go to Lady Trucker. What's up, lady?
Hey, I'm curious now. Will my dead man farts smell better or worse than my living farts?
Now, that's a question I'm going to need, personal space to make an answer.
Here's what we're going to do, Lady Trucker. We're going to invite you into the studio. We're going to have you pass gas. We're going to smell it. Then we're going to do
Why is there we involved? Why do I have to do this?
Of course you'll be here. You started this with us.
How about you just have her, there's a website you can fart in a jar. How about she just sends it?
Okay, Jessimae Peluso will be here. You will be in studio. And you will pass gas in front of us on Jessimae Peluso's face.
I might gag. I have a very weak stomach when it comes to that.
After that, we will smell the fart. We will rate it on a scale of 1 to 10.
1 to 10? How do you even know what the different numbers represent?
With your nose, we'll figure the scale out in advance. It'll be scientific.
Okay.
Then, Lady Trucker, what we're going to do is commit homicide. We're going to murder you.
What do you want to say?
Then we're going to wait for your microorganisms to fart as your body decomposes.
The skin slip.
And then we will let the audience know what smells better.
That sounds promising.
Trucker, are you in?
I'm in.
I thought she hung up.
No, she's volunteered. She said, I'm in.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Good. Thank you very much, Lady Trucker. She was on Twitter last night wearing a Not Sam t-shirt, so I figured this...
Was she really?
Yeah, this is the only way I could repay her, by offering to murder her.
That's going to be my stripper name, Lady Trucker.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm glad that you have a backup plan. I worry about you sometimes. I mean, I know Paul Feig is a big fan, but what's he ever done for anybody?
He's my backup plan.
Did you know that Paul Feig knew who you were?
I didn't.
At the top of the show, Paul Feig was my guest, and I brought up that Jessimae was going to be here, and he was like, not only did he know who you were, he was like excited that you were going to be here.
That's
He's a fan.
so cute. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah,
his movies are dope.
He's the Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints to female comics.
He really is, and he celebrates them, which is great.
Yeah, he's putting all Ghostbuster women.
That's going to be pretty dope, right?
I think it's going to be cool because he's picking good women. He's picking, he's got Kristen Wiig.
Yep.
Melissa McCarthy.
Home run.
And then the two chicks from SNL, the blonde chick and the black chick with the spiky hair.
Yeah, they're so funny.
What'd you say, Paul?
Allison Jones and Kate McKinnon.
Allison Jones and Kate McKinnon.
Yeah.
Very funny.
Hilarious.
All of them. So I think
that's going to be great.
I think it'll be good.
Ghostbusters was so good.
Yeah, I would, and he's completely reimagining it, which I think is smart. Not trying to.
Yeah, you can't just redo it. Yeah, you have to do it that way.
John in Virginia.
Hey guys, you're talking about dead bodies and how gross they are. I used to work for an ambulance company that did body removals, and I can tell you a story that's really, really awful if you want to hear it.
I would love to.
I'm scared.
Middle of July, a naked guy laying on a vinyl couch for over a week.
Did he have a large penis and swollen butthole?
Everything was just all swollen up.
What did he have in his bank account at the time? That's where I would look first.
We have to check his wallet. He had some weed in his wallet. But anyway, we had to get air masks from the fire department because it smelled so bad. And we decided the best way to do this was to put the cot next to the couch with the body bag open and just try to roll the guy into it. And his back stuck to the couch. As we rolled him over, pretty much everything on the inside just completely rolled over the cot and onto the floor.
See?
Yes.
Like his body parts, like his intestines and stuff?
Yep.
Why are you afraid of that, Sam?
That sounds so gross.
It was so bad the guy with me actually puked in his fireman's air mask and then took it off, and it smelled so bad he puked.
And you kept going to work the next day?
Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting job.
Wow.
It is interesting. Well, something new every day.
Yeah, you learn something new every day.
How long had the guy been there?
About a week.
Oh man, see, that's all it takes, Sam. A week, and after that, the worst is over. Then you become pretty bones.
That's what's going to happen to me at the end of my life.
That's sooner than later.
Thanks, buddy. I'm going to be dead, and nobody's going to check on me for a week.
And the worst part of that story, he didn't even smoke the last bit of his weed.
Right, he had weed. He didn't want to die. He was ready to have some fun in a little bit.
Yeah, something happened. He choked on like a piece of popcorn.
Right. I'll smoke this now. Then we eat some popcorn. I'm gonna smoke the rest.
Yeah.
That's how precious. People don't understand. That's how precious life is.
And the next thing you know, he's stuck to a couch. I mean, I've heard this term being stuck to a couch, but not like literally stuck to the couch.
Literally stuck to the couch.
He's a couch potato?
Like so stuck to the couch that if he moves, his intestines will fall on the floor.
Could we call him a couch potato skins?
You could. I wouldn't. It's disrespectful.
Okay, sorry. R.I.P., sir. I hope you had a nice life.
I'm sure, obviously, he did. I mean, there's no way that you have that story and didn't have a great life around you. And he did what he wanted to do, I guess, get really fat and smoke weed all the time.
Are you mad at me now? Everyone's calling with their dead stories?
I kind of enjoy it. I like to know. I like to be slightly removed from it. I like it. I'm very curious about it. Can't get all that near it.
All right.
I mean, I don't want to get that close to it.
You read a book about how fast the body decomposes.
I also, the same author wrote a book about ghosts as well, but I wasn't as much into that because it's a little too fluffy for me.
Because you don't believe in ghosts?
Well, I mean, I do, but I like, you know, all that stuff is speculation.
Right,
There's no hard evidence.
So
I like forensic scientific facts.
Gotcha. I've been freaked out because I keep watching the trailer for this documentary about night terrors that the guy from Room 237 did.
Ooh.
The night paralysis. I can't remember what it's called, Nightmare or something? The Nightmare. And it's a documentary, but it's almost shot like a horror movie. And it's about people who experience night paralysis and they get frozen and then shadow figures come and visit them. You've had night paralysis?
I had night paralysis when I lived in Boston. I had the same night paralysis for about 11 days in a row.
How did you eat? You were paralyzed for 11 days?
No. It's when I fell asleep, I had it.
Oh, every night.
When I had, and when I took naps, and it was the same dream over and over and over.
You got night paralysis when you took naps?
Yeah.
Naps are supposed to be such like a nice, peaceful thing. Like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to break up the day, refresh myself.
I'm going to get some energy.
Yeah.
I'm going to get some.
And you had night paralysis. And was it like in the afternoon?
In the afternoon.
Night paralysis in the afternoon may be the worst thing a person could happen.
And it's also like when you're dreaming, your dreams are where you are in that current place. So like you usually the dream is where you're laying. So it feels so real.
Ooh. All right.
Yes.
You feel like your eyes are open and you see exactly where you're laying. That's what and that's why it's terrifying.
Oh my God! So it's like you're not dreaming.
Yes, it's not. It's like you're not dreaming, and so like I had that, and I looked up, and there was just this figure standing over me.
What did it look like?
Just a dark shadow figure.
Oh boy!
And it was like for almost I think like 11 days.
Did you go to a doctor or anything?
I didn't because I was like, yo, is he gonna talk to me? Like, say something. Stop flirting.
See, yeah, exactly. I'm single though.
Yeah, I'm single. I'm saying, were you trying to take me to dinner or what?
Right, like.
Are we gonna leave the house?
Right, or is this just a hookup? Because if it is, I'm cool too.
Like, just at least text me back.
Yeah. Shadow man.
Shadow man. Don't be all mysterious.
Oh, that would drive me. I would probably commit suicide by the 11th day.
Freaky.
I would probably kill myself.
It gives me like, it hasn't happened.
Do you have any idea why it went away?
I don't know. It freaked me out so much that when I think about it, it makes the hair on my arms raise.
And you have a lot of hair. People don't know this about Jessimae Peluso. Hairy woman. Very hairy woman.
How did you know I had so much arm hair? Did I show it to you?
No, I've been checking you out from the moment you walked in.
You freak.
Let's go to Ray in Texas. What's up, Ray?
What's up, man? Hey, check it out. There's only one thing that could make me call in twice in one day.
Oh, I didn't know you. Yeah.
Yeah, Texas.
Swollen butthole.
Oh, you have a swollen butthole?
I have a swollen butthole story.
No.
I did a few years in the service, and I was over in Afghanistan in 07, 08. And we were doing a convoy there one time. It got hit with an IED. One of the Afghan army trucks got hit. One of the guys in his truck, the concussion blast drove 6 feet of his intestines out of his asshole, like prolapsed it out.
Oh, man, don't ever Google prolapsed anus. You'll ruin your day.
No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and our medic had to stuff the shit back up there.
Oh, my God.
Wow, sir.
Are you okay?
I'm not getting lasagna for dinner.
Yeah. Oh.
Thanks for ruining my pasta meal.
Let's go to, we're having some phone weirdness. 860, you're on the air.
Yo.
What's your name?
Oh.
Dwayne.
Whoa.
Where are you from, buddy?
How you doing?
Connecticut.
What you got going on?
Not much. What's up, man?
Look, I'm not going to talk to you.
Yeah, he's high. He didn't even know who he was calling.
Yeah. If you don't have much going on, then, I don't have much going on. I need you to have something going on.
Yeah, if you're high and boring, don't call.
Thank you. 334, you're on the air. Hey.
Hello, this is Britt.
Britt, what's up, buddy?
Not a whole lot. Okay, so I want you to ask Jessimae about these shadow men. Now, was that before or after she found the prehistoric tooth?
Right, you did come in here.
Okay.
That was the third YouTube video, by the way.
Yeah, the prehistoric tooth, that's right.
Jessimae came in and was talking about her terrible dental care and that she had a prehistoric tooth pulled out of her mouth. That's
it definitely looked like a fossil.
That story's on youtube.com/notsam. Let's go to 252. You're on the air, buddy. All right, I'm not going to talk to you.
Wrong dial.
Listen,
Butt dial.
we should take a break real quick. You sticking around, Jessimae?
I'm here for you.
Good. I can't wait to talk to you more about some of this stuff. You see what Vince Vaughn's in trouble for right now?
Oh, yeah, because he said he's a conservative?
Well, more than that, he's advocating for guns in schools and stuff.
What?
Yes, he went out and said, I guess the career is like, he's already not making a ton of money with movies anymore, I think. So he's going, fuck it then, I'll just say how I feel.
You know, I respect having your opinion.
Yeah?
Say what you need to say.
Right. Say what you need to say.
I was just going to do that.
We'll be back with Jessimae Peluso here on Sam Roberts Show.
Yeah,
Sam Roberts Show. That's right.
Also the
Thank you.
censored version.
Thank you, Jessimae, for respecting my rules in the Sam Roberts party room. Here on Sam Roberts Show, we're here every day now, starting at noon. Every day on this channel, OP Radio, XM 103, Sirius 206, and of course, always on demand. Jessimae Peluso is in studio. If you were listening carefully, you heard her stay into a live microphone as we were going to break. We got to talk about my titty still. I said, you're right, Jessimae. Right you are.
I said it like a child.
Yeah. We got to talk about my titty.
I was like, we got to tell a titty story.
Yeah. Well, the darndest thing happened. We were in Los Angeles. I told you. I talked about it on Friday. When I was talking about doing Stone Cold's podcast and playing clips from that and stuff, which are fucking hilarious.
I bet they are.
Yeah, and, by the way, today's Tuesday, a new Stone Cold podcast came out. Steve Austin Show. I'm the guest on that, too.
You don't say.
I'm going to have Paul listen to it and see if there's any more funny clips, because him yelling at a fucking helicopter in the middle of our conversation.
He did.
He just started screaming at a helicopter. It was probably the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. And I mean, it had nothing to do with pro wrestling. It had nothing to do with anything. It was just, he was pissed at the helicopter because he was talking to, as he said, Sam fucking Roberts.
Oh, that's your new name. That should be your new name.
He ended the podcast by saying, I love you, Sam, in a heterosexual, straight way. That's what Stone Cold Steve Austin said to me. But
did you pee a little?
I did. I think it was actually pre-cum, but I don't know exactly what it was.
Well,
there's liquid.
Pre-cum kills all the acid and urea in your pee.
Is that right?
So that the sperm survive through your urethra.
You should have been a biologist.
It's just a little fact. Fun fact for everybody.
You know so much stuff. Jessimae. Yeah, the darndest thing happened. Oh, yeah, actually, good call, Paul. Let's bring that into there. Yeah. Listen to this, Jessimae. Listen to this clip from Stone Cold's podcast that I was on. This came out on Thursday, but you can still download it on iTunes. Some of these guys are better off staying down there, and especially the way they're setting stuff up. Like, I don't see when Kevin Steen is going to come up to the main roster. He was on Raw, but I don't see him being a full-time main roster guy anytime soon. Not because he's not ready, but because he's so hot in NXT right now.
Hold that thought, Sam. Hey, could you get that fucking chopper out of here? I'm trying to cut an award-winning podcast with Sam fucking Roberts from New York City. Yeah.
I'm glad somebody said. I was about to say it. I don't understand. It's the greatest thing I've ever done in my life.
I'm trying to cut a podcast with Sam.
An award-winning podcast.
I'm sorry. Award-winning podcast with Sam fucking Roberts.
From New York City.
From New York City.
That's right.
New York City. It's like those Ortega commercials. New York City.
New York City. Yeah. I mean, that's how you know he's really from Texas, the fact that New York City is like a thing.
Yeah. It's
like if you're from L.A.
It's a commodity.
Yeah. Everybody's like, what are you from, New York? Yeah, whatever. But if you're from Texas, New York City, huh? What's that like?
You sounded different.
I did?
Yeah, you sounded very composed, like you were nervous.
Well, I wanted to put my best foot forward, be a professional.
You're very... You were
Look, Jessimae Peluso, I'm talking to the greatest fucking pro wrestler of all time that's ever lived.
Why are you screaming at me, Samuel Roberts?
Because you don't understand.
Can you stop making weird hand gestures as well?
Nope, I'm an animated human being, and that translates to the people. That's why nobody understands that I'm in a closet talking to a wall, because I'm so animated. They're like, you'd have to be out of your mind to have that much energy in a room like that. It must really be a party room.
It's a party room.
It is a party room.
It's the Sam fucking Roberts party room.
In New York City.
And it's full of white men.
That's right. That's how I like my parties.
It's just full of white boys that smell like linen.
Well, that's me. I like 20-something white boys.
Yeah.
Fresh out of college.
Fresh.
Just pick them right out of the frat houses.
Yeah. He's rubbing his chest.
Rubbing themselves.
It's getting very, very interesting.
Well, the darndest thing happened to me while I was out in L.A.
Back to that.
Because not only did I do Stone Cold's podcast, but I spent some time with Jessimae Peluso.
You did. Quality time.
Crashed at your place.
You did. In the guest room.
That's right. Well, I wasn't going to say that and let everybody just kind of let the rumors go wild.
Yeah, well, I didn't. I got right to it.
Okay, well, that's on the table then. But
left your curly hairs in my sink. Go ahead.
Guess
it's hard with you. I can't tell which fucking body part it comes from.
And I like that. I like it that way.
It's very mysterious.
There's some hair in my sink. Where's that from?
We don't know.
Me.
Me.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? Let your mind wander. That's what my stray hairs are all about. But the darndest thing happened. We were out poolside, and Troy Kwan was there with us.
Troy Kwan, the chef.
And there was some horseplay going on.
You know, the horseplay is such a cop-out, but okay, continue with the story.
Oh. Wait till you guys hear this. There was horseplay going on the pool, and quite frankly, I was shocked. I wasn't involved in the horseplay, and that's true, is
That's
it not?
because you were worried about getting a sunburn.
Because there's a sign in front of the pool that says, no... What?
Horseplay.
Horseplay. So I'm not going to be the fool that commits in horseplay. However, you and Troy, you were going through some horseplay, and the darndest thing happened.
The darndest.
Paul, you're never going to believe this. Jessimae's titty fell out.
Now, see,
you believe that?
You and Troy keep relaying the story.
And I tried to tell her, Jessimae, your titty wouldn't have fallen out if you hadn't been horseplaying.
No, see, you leave out one important detail, and so did Troy when he was relaying this story.
What?
He untied my bikini top, and then the tit fell out.
I don't know about all that going on. All I know is there was just horseplay going back and forth.
Yeah.
Kids having a good time, whatever it was. But breaking the rules, which you were. There's no horseplay.
We were breaking. We were the only ones at the pool.
And then your titty fell out.
Right, and then what happened after that? When my titty fell out, what happened? Did I scream?
I don't know. I was looking at your titty.
Do you remember what you said?
No.
You're oddly calm for somebody who has their tit out right now.
Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Well, I noticed you maintained your composure, I guess. I was looking at the titty. I winked at your nipple.
You looked my titty right in the eye, which is really rude.
Well, I'm sorry.
You looked her right in the eye. You didn't even introduce yourself.
I said this is one of those times where I will regret being polite.
To a tit?
So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be rude and selfish and do what I should do.
You looked her right in the nipple eye.
And I did. Were you surprised that your titty fell out?
No, because Troy was trying to get the tit out.
I don't think that's
You guys
accurate.
are saying horseplay made the tit come out?
I am.
Troy was like, there's a tit that I'm going to make come out.
How did you feel when your breast was exposed for everybody?
Fine, I got great tits.
You're okay with it?
Yep, beautiful, natural boobs.
Oh, yeah, prove it.
You already saw one.
You're right, I did.
And I only do it when the rules are that I can't have horseplay, that I can't do horseplay.
That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do for the party room.
Yeah.
I'm going to set up a sign outside this studio that says no horseplay and a winky face. You know what that means, Jessimae?
Left tit this time.
Left tit. I would hope it's a different one. I've already seen
Yeah, you
the
said
one.
you're bored with the right one.
Yeah.
Seen the right one, seen them all.
Well, no. Seen the right one, seen the right one. I'd like to see the left one.
What if there was also like a center one?
Like in, what's that movie?
Like a middle one.
What's the movie with they just remade it. And there were 3 tits in that one, too.
Oh, yeah, what was that?
I don't Recall. Total Recall.
Total
Adrian with the save. Tittle Recall.
Tittle Recall.
Do you like L.A.? You like being out there?
I do like L.A.
I like L.A. It was
I
fun.
miss New York. I miss, like, the angriness of New York.
I liked being in L.A. for as short a time as possible, though, to be honest. I was there for, like, literally
46 hours.
From the time, from JFK to JFK trip, 72 hours.
That's
Meaning
crazy.
including the flights, 72 hours. It was like 2 nights, 3 days, get as much done as I can, get the fuck out
You
of there.
got a lot done.
Yeah. I mean, I saw a tit.
You saw a tit?
That's what I was going through. I was like, I did Stone Cold's podcast. I did AfterBuzz TV. I saw a tit. That would be jumping to the top of the
Chicken
list.
and Waffles.
Right. Went to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles.
We argued about chicken fried steak.
Yeah, and I was right, obviously.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot. I don't know if I would survive living in LA, though.
You wouldn't.
Why not?
You're too tender.
What are you talking about?
You're very tender.
What's your name? Where you
I live in New York. I'm fucking from the Bad Apple. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what people call me.
But don't you live, like, outside of the city?
It's Westchester, New
Okay.
York. Yeah, it's a suburb.
Yep.
But still, I'm here a lot
Do you
of
have a lot
times.
of trees in your yard? Do you have a yard?
No, well, I mean, I live in an apartment.
Is there a yard in your apartment?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
New York.
because that way the dogs can walk around and stuff.
Right,
and
right.
People curb them. It's nice. See the trees.
But I'm in the tough streets.
But I am. And it's not, plenty of parking. Park wherever you want, like around the building,
Oh my God.
in the
That's,
building.
well, then that's LA.
It's
You
not a
might be able
problem.
to survive in LA.
You think so?
Yeah. Plenty of parking.
Why do you think I'm too tender for LA?
You're tender. Is
But-
there a yard in your apartment?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's at
Yeah,
New York.
because that way the dogs can walk around and stuff.
Right,
and
right, right.
People curb them. It's nice. see the trees.
But I'm in the tough streets.
But I am. And there was plenty of parking. Park wherever you want, like around the building,
Oh my God.
in the building.
Well, then that's LA. You might be able to survive in LA.
You think so?
Yeah. Plenty of parking.
Why do you, I'm not, you think I'm too tender for LA?
You're tender.
I'm not tender. Let's go to...
You're tender.
Let's go to...
You're only going to move in next to Stone Cold.
Let's go... Well, Stone Cold I'd be tender for.
And what about me sending you the photo of the house that was available next to him?
Yeah, that's how bad it got. First of all, we found out that Jessimae Peluso lives, like, a Stone Cold's throw away from Stone Cold Steve Austin. Literally a 30-second walk. So she started emailing me or texting me photos of available houses.
There's like 3 in the neighborhood
that are next door to him. I think I'm going to move into 312 Gimmick Street.
I told you I put an offer in for you as a friend.
Dwayne in Connecticut.
Yo.
What's up, buddy?
I touched you, Jessimae. Your side boobs.
When?
You touched my side tit, Dwayne?
Yeah.
In, like, in reality or just like
Manchester
in one of the night
weekend.
terrors?
He said in Manchester.
Manchester?
At the Funny Bone.
Are you at the Funny Bone?
Yeah.
Do people
with you?
Do you?
Oh, nice.
Do you?
Thank you for coming out, Dwayne.
Do you find that when like guys take pictures with you after gigs that they like? Can you tell when they're standing in a certain way where it's just to press their torso against your side boob?
I usually jump the gun and do it to them so that they know that I know what they know.
Right,
and I'm going to do it.
That's called a moneymaker because they'll be back for a second show.
Yeah.
Smart.
I just do like a little front crotch rub.
Smart. Oh my God.
Pelvic thrust.
I got to go to your shows. Sam, you're here for the meet and greet? Yeah, I just thought we'd get a picture.
You don't even go to the show. You just wait in line for the meet and greet.
Yeah, Sam, we know each other. Wait, no, I'm just here for the picture.
Yeah, no, just trying to sit here.
Well, listen, Jessimae Peluso, it's been an honor and a privilege to have you on the show.
Stop being so formal, Sam.
You're right. Where the fuck can people find you on Twitter?
You can find me at Jessimae Peluso.
That's it.
Bam.
Jessimae Peluso on Twitter and Jessimae.com and all that stuff. Find her if she's coming to a town near you.
Find me and touch my side tit.
You can touch a side tit. She'll rub her crotch on you, and she's very, very funny.
Thank you, Sam Roberts.
Thank you for being here.
I'm going to have you on my Sharp Tongue show.
I can't wait. I thought you just meant on your sharp tongue. I was like, all right,
yeah,
what's up?
That's why I paused and said show, so your brain would run wild.
I wish you hadn't
through those follicles on top of your head.
Finished it. I appreciate everybody being here. We'll be back tomorrow with more of this. Again, you can catch some Jessimae videos that just went up at youtube.com/notsam. All the rest constantly getting updated at notsam.com. I think we got a Twitter address, but I forgot what it was, so I'll tell you what it is tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody.
Isn't it